Hi, I'm Stephen Oram. I'm a near-future science fiction writer, and as you can see, I'm coming today from a green cupboard somewhere in central London. I write novels, I write short stories, and I also write flash fiction, and there's more about that on my website, stephenoram.net. Today I'm going to read you a piece of flash fiction called Kept Apart, which is from my collection Biohacked and Begging. And the reason I've chosen to read a piece of fiction, and this bit of fiction in particular, is what I think fiction can do is challenge our perspectives on the world, can make us see different points of view, and obviously it entertains at the same time, which I hope it will, and I hope you'll agree that this story entertains you, as well as I hope pokes and prods around a little bit in terms of, let's just say, perspectives, point of view, and all the rest of it. I tend not to write pure dystopian or pure utopian, but somewhere in between. And I think it's that grey bit in between, or possibly the journey between dystopia and utopia, that is where the interesting stuff happens. So, the story I'm going to read is called Kept Apart. Here's a nice postcard that the wonderful artist Kim Hudson did for this particular story. It's very nice. And yeah, from Biohacked and Begging, we have Kept Apart. We leap off the train and run down into the deserted streets. Boyd has become more and more frustrated over the past few months with the isolation of where we live. Our neighbours are nice enough, but they're not like us. So here we are on our way to Confusion, the club that welcomes everyone, to spend the weekend with our own kind. We have to cross at least one no-go zone to get there. It's dangerous. Surrounded by hostile residents, the inhumane humans, we call them, hiding in the shadows, waiting to eliminate you. So it's best to make the attempt when daylight is fading and before the street lamps shine bright. Dusk is our only hope. And that is what we're doing. We have 45 minutes to make the journey. Boyd pauses and studies the map on his phone. We're lost, I say. No, we're not. Give me it. He twists so I can't reach. It's this way, he says. In the distance, a solitary community policeman stands erect, watching. I don't like it. I'm scared, but Boyd needs to do this, and I need Boyd. I follow him into the darkness of an underpass, staying a few steps behind because I'm annoyed with him. The dim light makes the walls appear soft, without edges, and the sounds of our footsteps disappear immediately, as if they've been eaten. I catch up to hold his hand. No, he says, and pulls away. Idiot. As we emerge, it's darker than when we entered, as if the density of the underpass has somehow attached itself and followed us out. He points to the right. Down there. The street widens. It's deserted too, but the mustiness has been replaced by a hint of floral scent, as if someone has sprayed the air with an artificial freshener. Cosy light spills out onto the pretty front gardens of the smart-looking houses that line either side of the street. It says there's a turning here, he says. It's a wall. It's obviously wrong. It can't be. If the satellite sees a road, there must be one. Maybe it's faulty. It's not faulty. It's the best money can buy. Heavy footsteps invade the silence of the street. We turn. Another community policeman is walking towards us, carrying a cube in front of him. His eyes flick between us and his device. Boyd crosses the road quickly. It's got to be here somewhere, he says in a low, anxious voice. Maybe there's a gap. Give it here, I say, reaching for the phone. I know what I'm doing, he snaps. Your stupid phone and its crappy maps will be the end of us. I suck my teeth. He shoves it in my face. Look, there's meant to be a turning just here. I grab it and glance at the map. Okay, you're right, but it's not there, is it? I trace the screen with my finger. Why don't we try this route instead? The policeman arrives. Are you looking for Trelawney Close? He asks. Yes. Well, why do you ask? He taps his cube. Surveillance is vigilance, and vigilance keeps you safe. Is there something wrong, officer? Asks Boyd. The policeman leans in close and lowers his voice. Come on, I'm not stupid, and neither is anyone else who lives here. The two of you stand out a mile. I've scanned your social media, your photos and your private messages. I know where you're from, and I know what you are. And the trouble is, they don't like your sort around here. Take my advice. You don't want to find that street you're so keen to locate. Go home, or at the very least stick to the main road. I look at Boyd for support, but he looks at the floor. What do you mean, our sort? I ask. The policeman stands up straight, folds his arms and gathers his thoughts. In a loud voice and with a false smile, he speaks clearly. We can help you with your problem. Don't forget, you only need to ask. I grab Boyd's clenched fist and drag him away. We need to find the club and its sanctuary. The light is fading fast. It's that weird in-between time when your phone registers day but your eyes register night. So I alter the light level of the screen to compensate. The blue line of our route pulsates against the white background. The tiny chip under the skin of my wrist vibrates. There's a phone nearby that it doesn't recognise, and yet there's no sign of anyone. But this implant, a present from Boyd, has never failed me. There, I see it, a shadowy figure staring from its garden, standing still and shaking its head. They might be watching, and they might be waiting. I don't care. And anyway, the light is too dim for them to see. They can only guess. I turn my grip on Boyd's fist into a soft, loving clasp, hidden beneath the folds of our coats, but his sweaty hand slips out from my clandestine caress. Stop, he says, I don't like it. Nobody knows, I say, attempting to downplay my own anxiety. It's dark. Not yet it isn't. Pull your hood up, they'll never know who you are, or what we are. My implant vibrates again. Boyd's head is covered and mine's exposed for all to see. Still, it's only 10 minutes until sunset and a 10-minute walk to the club. Not long now. We pass another policeman playing the good sentry. I smile. He doesn't. He rubs the cube in his hand. The implant vibrates, and behind the policeman's shoulder something moves, following our passage through its terrain. Why haven't we been accosted? Unless... might those policemen be protecting us? It's a thought. Another policeman in his cube, another vibration. Boyd checks his phone. We're really close, he says. More and more policemen arrive at the roadside. They're stationed a few feet apart, holding their cubes in front of their faces. The grey figures behind them blend into one amorphous mass. We run, but blocking the end of the road are two policemen with their backs to us, and as we approach, I can feel Boyd slowing down. The street lamps start to fizz as they warm up. Excuse me, I say in the most authoritative voice I can muster. Boyd giggles nervously. Contact avoided, contamination averted, says one of the policemen into his hand. They turn slowly, gracefully spinning their cubes in the air, and step apart to let us through. We run between them, around the corner and through a gate in a high wall. Wow. We're bathed in spotlights shining from the roof of the club, illuminating every nook and cranny along the street. Confusion is etched deep into the stonework across the front of the building, glowing red from pinprick bulbs set around the edges. The light dispels all possibility of attack and recrimination for being born as we are. I squeeze his hand, pull back his hood, and a big, silly, stupid, lovely, wonderful grin stretches across his face. No more shadows. The red carpet that's rolled out from the door like a lovely long tongue entices us inside, and we run as if our lives depend on it. Soft beneath our feet, cushioning each and every step, the velvet path welcomes us into the mouth of sanctuary. As soon as we take that final step across the threshold and the roaming spotlights are behind us, Boyd grabs both sides of my face and gives me the biggest, wettest, soppiest, most gorgeous kiss he's ever given me. We're safe and among our own. We are whole. It's kept apart. I hope you enjoyed it. I also hope that you can see why I chose that particular story for the 25th anniversary festival of Stop Hate UK, which is a great thing and something that you should donate to that festival. Just coming back to the story, for me, there's a whole thing there around ambiguity of roles, ambiguity of who's doing what and why they're there. There's ambiguity, you may not have noticed, but there's ambiguity there about gender. So the narrator's never actually given a gender. That's for you to decide. And I also find that quite interesting to hear from people what gender they feel that narrator was, or in any of the stories where I'm not specific about gender or various other things. So, as I say, for me, there's something there about how we relate to each other, how we presume about each other, how we're kept apart, and what is it that's keeping us apart, and who's protecting and who's dangerous, and all the rest of it. Anyhow, that's why I chose that particular story. As I say, I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, 25th anniversary festival for Stop Hate UK. Please donate to it. It's a great cause. The website where you can donate is www.stophateuk.org/ and then donate-to-stop-hate-UK. But I'm sure if you go to that website, stophateuk.org, you'll find your way through from there to donate. So thank you very much. I'm Stephen Oram, and I hope you've enjoyed the story. Thank you.